Hello, welcome back to the channel and to a big announcement, I suppose. There's a change coming, a big change hopefully, that will make things a little easier for me and maybe better for you. I'm starting another channel to make things easier. Bear with me, it does make sense. It's one of those second channels of a primary channel, so it's not like a completely different one. I'm not trying to double my output or anything like that. Essentially, it's all down to a video I did a few weeks ago, which I'll come to in a minute. But the Tuesday video, this one, there might be one more, but effectively, this is the last one after the one more one anyway. I'm stopping the Tuesday videos and going back to what I originally have done for years. One video a week, every Friday at 4:30. That's not changed, it never will change, and that's what's staying. We're bringing the podcast back. That's going to be on the other channel. And the Tuesday video is also moving to the other channel. I'll explain why, because there's a little bit of a tale. So that's enough. But if you want to know why, this is why. Right, now, as I said, every Friday, 4:30, I've always done what I would call the main video. And then, I don't know, maybe up to a year ago, something like that, I started doing the Tuesday video. So I doubled the output, doubled the workload. And the idea was the channel would, in theory, grow quicker because, well, 2 videos instead of 1, not maybe twice as many views, but you'd get more traction, more subscribers and so forth. That's not really happened. It has a little bit, but not to the point where you think, oh, it's well worth it. And as people who've watched the channel for years know, that I work Monday to Friday. I have a normal day-to-day job, if you will, Monday to Friday. So all the YouTube stuff is in the evening and the weekend. And I thought, well, doubling this might be doable if I can make the Tuesday video a simple one. So I will just pick up my phone, maybe do a topical video, something that wouldn't naturally fill a main video, if you will, hence the extra content Tuesday thing. And it'd be just quickly shot, things like that, barely any editing. Some people that are invested in the channel might like it, and some might not, but ultimately you've still got the main Friday video. So you could just skip the Tuesday one if it wasn't for you. Things like, I've noticed this article about electric vehicles in the media, you know, and then talked about it, stuff like that. Well, that's becoming to the point, and this goes back to a video I did a few weeks ago about the YouTuber burnout one. Now I did that not to pull at the heartstrings or anything, but because I was asked to for the Mental Health Awareness Week to talk about it, and I thought, well, what can I talk about? I said, oh, we'll talk about social media. What's it like being on, you know, on that, and stresses and stuff. Well, all right, so that's what I did. But when I was doing that video and talking about, you know, don't have enough time for this, barely see your family, I thought, well, actually, why am I doing all this? What am I doing? Why am I chasing views and subscribers? It's becoming an obsession. I'm picking my phone up first thing in the morning, last thing at night, all the usual stuff that many people with any sort of business or self-employed nature have the same sort of worries and stresses and stuff like that. So I thought, right, well, in theory, let's drop the Tuesday video. Go back to 1 and just stick with that, because all of a sudden, rather than having to do 2 a week, I'm doing 1 a week again. It literally halved my workload back to the original 1. And that would mean I'd have a lot more time to do stuff at home, clean cars, paint rooms, spend with your family, take your pick. All the stuff that effectively the YouTube channel takes away at the moment. And that's by choice. You know, I've chose to do this. So I thought, okay, let's grab that back. But I do quite like doing the Tuesday videos occasionally, in terms of sometimes something isn't big enough for a main video, but it's all right for a little extra content, like talking about an article in the Daily Mail or a TV series, or just something that's only a few minutes long, like, oh, have you seen this? Look at this, that sort of stuff. And that's where I think the second channel makes sense. Because if you don't do your regular posting schedule on YouTube, you get hammered. The algorithm drops you like a stone, and it takes you weeks to get back to where you were. So I'm going to have that hit, obviously, going from 2 to 1. But if I want to still do the Tuesday videos, I can. If I don't have time, I don't have to. Because if it's on a different channel that I'm not bothered about in terms of subscribers and views, then, well, it doesn't matter. I'm not hurting anything. I'm not hurting the primary channel. So as far as YouTube are concerned, the main channel gets its weekly videos. That's normal. The second channel is the intermittent one. It's also going to be a place for the podcast. Now, this is something we haven't done for about 6-7 months. We've just recorded the first since we stopped anyway. And again, for me and Harry, that was purely down to time. It doesn't give us any income. It never probably will. It's just a bit of fun. It's something we enjoy doing. You don't have any feedback. So on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, all the usual places, no one can put a comment up. They have to go via Twitter or something like that. We can't say, or if you're listening to this, tell us about X, Y, and Z, like you can in a YouTube video. So by posting up the podcasts, which I guess are more visual podcasts, on the second channel, we get that feedback. And it adds to that extra content of the channel, which was the entire purpose of the podcast, essentially. So that's the premise. Create a second channel, not to stand on its own, but as you've seen it with many other YouTube videos where they have like a, EVM Mark II or EVM Channel 2, something like that. I haven't thought of the name yet, so that I will probably do in a video when I announce the change and the name and whatnot, which hopefully will happen in the next week too. So it's going to be a partner channel of this one, and just before ad hoc posting, because as I said, it doesn't really matter if I upset the algorithm on YouTube or anything like that. But it means I can still put something out if I find it interesting enough, but not good enough for a main video, topical, Daily Mail article, something like that. But it also means if for whatever reason I just want to stop, go on holiday, whatever, I don't post anything up for a week or two. So again, I won't be annoying people, I won't be annoying the algorithm. I can just keep doing the core stuff, the main channel, and concentrate on that ultimately, because sometimes you do spread yourself too thin. There we go, that's it essentially. The podcast is coming back on the second channel. The extra content Tuesday, whatever you want to call it, will be going on the second channel as well. And I might do more extra content. So it might not just be the Tuesday, I might just, I don't know, for example, this is going back into Tesla to get what I think is the top mount this time, because it's doing the old creak. You can't quite hear it inside. So I might just get my phone and go, oh yeah, I'm here at Tesla, this is what's happening, have a bit of a complaint, stop recording, upload it. That wouldn't be worthy of a main channel video, but for the extra stuff it might be interesting to somebody. It might not, I don't know. It's all a learning sort of scheme, is this. So let's see what happens. We all know MacMaster, the, shall we say, anti-EV person, who I will be doing a video collaboration with at some point in the near future. He's been ill recently, as you may or may not know through his channel. And long story short, he's posted videos about this, so I'm not saying anything that's not already out there. But he got, I think he said, chest pains, bit of tingling by the time he came back off of a holiday. He does daily videos, I should point out as well. And obviously thought he might be having an heart attack or something. They got him in, they did tests. You're not having a heart attack, your liver's enlarged. That started to go down. They did some tests. Oh, we think you might have a few cancer markers. Turned out that was fine. And ultimately, long story short, they think he's just basically pushed himself too much. He's burnt out. He's stressed out. Daily videos, full-time YouTuber, I believe. There's other stuff, no doubt, going on in people's lives, but ultimately, he's burnt out. That's what I'm trying to avoid. I'm not mega stressed right now. I do have no time at all, but that's not a stress thing. That's just having what most people have and not enough time. So I'm doing this in part as well to avoid things like that happening to me, because like most people, I imagine, he didn't realise this was creeping up on him. It just happened, and then his body went, I've had enough. So that's essentially, in a weird way, what that mental health video, coming full circle, has made me think about. It's done its job. I'll do the announcement, the names and everything in the near future. Keep an eye out for that. So yeah, there we go. That's all I need to talk about. If you've got any ideas, thoughts, that's what the comments are for. In fact, a name for the second channel. That'd be interesting. Obviously, people are going to put Channel McChannel face in the comment section, but if you've got any ideas for a name, because I don't really want to put EVM Mark II, especially as I do as much home energy stuff as car stuff. We did think about calling it the same as the podcast, Driving Home. So that's Driving OHM, bit of a pun. I quite like that. So that's the front runner because it's got a bit of home in it, it's got a bit of driving in it, and it's got that driving home electric sort of stuff. So I quite like that. That's the front runner. As I said, if you've got any ideas, let me know in the comments. And any other comments just of the channel in general, stick it in there, because I always listen to feedback. Might not necessarily agree with it, but ultimately it is important to know what people are thinking so you can adjust accordingly. Sometimes you can't, sometimes you can. Right, I'm done. Thanks for watching, and yeah, hammer that comment section. So see you soon. Bye.